نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So far, Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we discussed how to make wudu. We done that in detail, and then we discussed the things that make wudu necessary. Right, we discussed that, and it was the expelling of najasat from the makhraj mu'tad, from the place where you normally expel najasat from the body, irrespective of how little it was, right? Then we said from the places where you don't normally expel najasat, there it must be a significant amount. Like we said, if it's blood, it must be flowing blood. If it's vomit, it must be a significant amount of vomit, so it will have the najasat with it. Then we also discussed those things that are contrary to logic, which breaks the wudu as well, like laughing aloud in salah. But alhamdulillah, during the course of that discussion, we also discussed what is loud and what is soft in Shariat. Loud is where your neighbor can hear you, and soft is where you can hear yourself. And this is the minimum even in the silent salawat. Even in the silent salawat, even for a lady, she must be able to hear herself. Or you as a man is reading salat alone, you must also be able to hear yourself. And then we said, okay, the expelling of khuruj, or the rather expelling of najasat. Then we also discussed that things where it is you don't physically experience the coming out of the najasat, but in all probability it did happen. In all probability it did happen. So that was so wudu is basically to remove what we term as hadasul asghar, the lesser or the smaller impurity. And here also we're not speaking about a physical impurity, it's more like najasat hukmi. It's like a concept, it's a state, right? So now, alhamdulillah, we're going to move on to removing najas, hadath al-akbar, the greater form of hadath. And this will come in detail, inshallah. So we look there, faslun fil ghusli. Faslun fil ghusli, the chapter with regards to bathing. So here, Sahib Hidayah, he brought wudu before ghusl. And few reasons why he brought wudu before ghusl. Normally, the need for wudu is greater than the need for ghusl. You may need to make wudu 5 times a day, or you may need to make wudu 6 times a day if you're reading your tahajjud namaz. But generally, people don't need to bath 6 times a day unless you're abnormal or something like that. But generally, the need for wudu is more than the need for ghusl. Hence, wudu is brought first. Interesting. Wudu only covers a portion of your body. Wudu covers a portion of body. And ghusl covers your whole body. So you always mention the juice before you mention the kul. That's another reason. Something which is less intense, you mention for first, and then you move to the more intense thing. Another reason is in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala speaks about wudu first, and then He speaks about ghusl. He speaks about wudu first, and then He speaks about ghusl. And I told you also, wudu is hadath asghar, and ghusl is hadath akbar. So normally you do progress from the smaller to the bigger. Now, I want you to familiarize yourself with this here. I guarantee you, most of the ulama, even they make mistake with this here. They get this mixed up. Ghusl means to bath, which means your whole body, right? Like how we say to bathe yourself, right? Ghusl just means to wash. So wash your hands, you wash your face, or you can wash your shoes, or you can wash your bedding. That's ghusl. And there's another word here, ghisal. And ghisal means the medium by which you wash something else. So ghisal could refer to your soap, your shampoo, eh, right? In previous days, remember there wasn't soap shampoo, so they used to use khitmi, natural things. So that is ghisal, right? Similar like why we're discussing this, I just mentioned wudu is what is wudu? is the act of making wudu, right? And what is wudu? The thing that you use to make wudu, which is, so your water is wudu. Your water is wudu, and the act of making wudu is wudu, right? Right. So you remember the ghaslun, ghuslun, and ghislun, right? So, okay. Now, you remember we mentioned this before. In everything, you get what we term as the fara'is. If the fara'is are in the actual ibadat, then it's called a rukn, or it is arkan. If the fara'is is out of the ibadat, there is a shart, right? So, like in all types of ibadat, in all types of worship, you get those things which are the fara'is. If any one of them are left out as though that thing is not done, if you come, as I come to you, if I say invite you to come to my house tonight, but you come without your head, you left your head at home. Will we say Luqman came to me? No, his body came to me because he is not Luqman without his head. Or you left your heart at home. You're a dead person. Then that's the body of Luqman. So same thing we done in wudu. There are the fara'is, and the fara'is refer to those things that are so integral. If one of them are left out, that thing is not what it is, right? So same thing in the ghusl also. There are the fara'is that if any one of them are left out, as though the ghusl is not done at all. And this is so important, it's so fundamental because remember, if you leave out a fardh of ghusl, your ghusl is not done. It means you're still in hadath. And if you're still in hadath, that means your salat is not done. It means that is why Nabi Sallallahu said, "At-tahuru shatrul iman, al-nazafa, at-taharatu, miftahul salat," etc. So if you could be making ibadat for many, many years, for many, many years, but if you don't know how to make ghusl, you don't know the farais of ghusl, you don't know what constitutes a complete ghusl. How many people, maybe elderly people here, they're reading salat, etc., etc., but they're not knowing to ghusl. What is the state of the salat? So you can understand that that is why sometimes we only think you must have tafsir classes, you must have this classes, you must have that classes. But what about the basics, which is so important? So those who know, they should convey to those not to know. Okay, Bismillah, read the first ibarat. Right. So as I said, the farz وفرض الغسل المضمضة والاستنشاق وغسل سائر البدن. So basically there are three fara'is in ghusl. One is to wash the mouth. And here also when you say wash the mouth, remember if you open your mouth like this, you see right till the back. You don't just put water in the front of your mouth, right? And istinshaq, to put water in your nose till where the soft part is. So if you just put mouth in the top of the nose inside, it's also not done, right? So to cleanse the mouth thoroughly, when you say cleanse the mouth thoroughly, water must reach between the teeth and the cheeks on top, the teeth and the cheeks at the bottom, under the tongue, and right till the back of the mouth where the throat starts. Right? Are you with me? And istinshaq, I told you, till the soft part of the nose where the bone starts, right? So, and then besides it, the rest of the body. That means every single hair on the external part of the body must be washed. So even in your ears, etc., the way your finger can reach between your toes, under your arms, in between your legs, etc., all of these places, all water must reach there. To such an extent, if one hair remains dry, your ghusl is not done, right? Carry on. Right. وعند الشافعي هما سنتان فيه لقوله عليه السلام. Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that to wash the, like we said here, the nose, the mouth, etc., this is not compulsory. It is only sunnah. What? It is only sunnah. And what is his proof for this? His proof is this here. He says, Asharu min al-fitrati. Nabi also mentioned that 10 things are from fitra. When you say fitra means it's a natural disposition which a normal person will incline towards it. You know, a person who has a tabiyat salima, person who has a tabiyat salima, he's got an unadulterated tabiyat. Right? So 10 things, what are they? من السنة وذكر منها المضمضة والاستنشاق. So fitra means the natural things which a person inclined to. And the meaning of that is sunnah. Because a person with a tabiyat salima, he inclines towards the sunnah. So here Nabi also mentioned that gargling the mouth and cleansing the nose are from the sunnah act. It is not explained to be from the farz act. This is Imam Shafi's reasoning. وَلِهَذَا كَانَ سُنَّتَيْنِ فِي الْوُضُوءِ. And another reason, he says, see, in wudu, even in wudu, it is not farz, even according to Hanafi. So basically, he's using this against us Hanafis. Oh, you Hanafis, don't you say in wudu, etc., that to wash the mouth and the nose is not compulsory? So we say yes. So if it's not compulsory wudu, why should it be compulsory in your, why should it be compulsory in your ghusl? Are you with me? You got his reasoning there. Right. So interesting. We say, look here. If you look at what is our proof, وَلَنَا قَوْلُ ta'ala, if you look at the statement of Allah ta'ala, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ جُنُبًا فَطَّهَرُوا, if you in the halat of janabat, ceremonial impurities, فَطَّهَرُوا, before we do the kitab, explain, the one is tahura, yatharu, mashallah, you know Arabic, to be clean, the uthur, be clean. This comes on the ifta'ala scale. Ifta'ala plus Tahara. Remember when you get a pa in the beginning, then the ta also changes to a pa to become ittahara, right? So this is ismul mubalagha. So ismul mubalagha means you must cleanse yourself thoroughly, thoroughly. You understood? So I'll give you some example just to understand this here. Maybe I gave you something, this desk. I say just clean this desk for me here, right? So just clean it. I'm going to use this that desk. Simple example to understand. So you took a cloth and you wiped it, right? Fine. But I said, look, man, I'm getting a guest here. My ustad is coming. I want you to clean this thing thoroughly for me. I want you to clean this desk thoroughly because my ustad is coming. Going to use. What will you do? Will you just wipe it on top? No. You say, oh, Mufti's ustad is coming. You start cleaning under the desk. You clean on the sides of the desk, everything. You make it perfect because I said, please clean it thoroughly. The same thing here. Ittahara, yattahiru means to cleanse yourself thoroughly. Like I tell you, so clean thoroughly means not only the surface, underneath, beneath, between, everywhere. So when you say cleanse your body thoroughly, it means you must also clean your mouth, you must also clean your nose. If you do not clean your mouth and you do not clean your nose, that means you haven't cleaned yourself thoroughly. You understood that? That's what I'm saying. وَلَنَا قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى. Our proof is the statement of Allah Ta'ala, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ جُنُوبًا فَطَّهَّرُوا. If you in a halat al-janabat, that means you cleansing yourself from ceremonial impurity, or maybe even a haiz, a woman that she finished her manti, etc., etc. So she must clean herself thoroughly. Amara bil bil ithari. Ittahara al-itharu. Allah Ta'ala is command was cleansing thoroughly. And what is cleaning thoroughly? Like I tell you, I say clean the bench thoroughly means وَهُوَ تَطْهِيرُ جَمِيلِ badani. It is to clean the entire body properly. So whatever place you can access, you must clean it. إلا أن ما تعذر إيصال الماء إليه خارج. But that much you cannot get the water to reach it. Obviously, you excuse. That means like you can't get the water right in your ear by your eardrum. You can't get the water right in your eye. Man. You can't get the water in your nose above the bone. So obviously, because that is difficult, so it won't be necessary. There's also another principle you do in fiqh. الحرج مدفوع. الحرج مدفوع. That way there's a great deal of difficulty in it. You are excused from it. So in simple words, I'm saying because you got the command to cleanse yourself thoroughly, thoroughly, it's necessary for you to clean your mouth and your nose and every external part of your body that you can have access to. When you open your mouth like this, your mouth is external, right? Then we say بخلاف الوضوء. Interesting reason. We say you cannot make an analogy on wudu. Wudu is different. Why? لأن الواجب فيه غسل وجه. See, why is wudu different? See, Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم. Allah Ta'ala says, clean your whole body thoroughly. He said, wash your face. And what is face? Face is when you look at the person. When you look at me, can I see in your mouth? No, unless you're yawning. If I look at me, normal people, can I see in your nose? No, you've got a normal nose, inshallah. You're able to see in your nose unless you've got big nostrils, right? So the Quran says just wash the face. The Quran says wash the face. The Quran says wash the face. And the face is what you see. When you face a person, what you see. You don't see inside the mouth. You don't see inside the nose. Normal people. So you just have to wash what you see. That's what he's saying there. He's saying لأن الواجب فيه غسل الوجه. That the wajib thing is just to wash the face. والمواجهة فيهما منعدمة, and muwajaha in it is mun'adim. What do you mean by this? والمواجهة فيها منعدمة. The right translation for you. 1 second. Yeah, they're saying والمواجهة and muwajaha, that means looking at the face. فيهما منعدمة, that فيهما washing the inside the mouth and washing inside the nose is absent in it. Washing inside the mouth and washing inside the nose is absent. So washing of the face is something totally different to the command of ittahara yattahiru. Are you with me? Okay, read the next ibarah there. Yeah, and then also besides that, also that's one is like you say the naqli dalil, the logical proof. But there's also another proof. والمراد بما رواه حالة الحدث بدليل قول عليه السلام إنهما فرضان في الجنابة سنتان في الوضوء. So see, what he's speaking about here is this here that when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that asharum min al-fitrati, that 10 things are from the natural position of a person because a tabiyat salima. 10 things are natural in a person. Halat al-hadathi, it is relating to when a person only needs wudu, when he is in a hadath asghar, not when he is in a hadath akbar. It refers to when a person in a hadath asghar, not when he is in a hadath akbar. And what's the proof? بدليل قوله عليه السلام. And what's the proof to say that yeah, it being sunnat only refers to hadath asghar? There's a clear hadith. إنهما فرضان في الجنابة, that these two things that are farad in janabat. There's a clear hadith. Jazakallah. Sunnatani fil wudu'i, and a sunnat in wudu. So that shows you that this was saying that 10 things from Fitra, 10 things from the Sunnah, it refers to wudu because we got explicit text that says in Ghusl, they were what? They are faraz. Are you with me? Is that clear? Okay, read one more ibarat before we stop. Right. وسنة أن يبتدأ المغتسل فيغسل يديه وفرجه ويزيل النجاسة. So the sunnah is first thing that the person al-mughtasil, the person that is intending to make wudu, he starts وسنة أن يبتدأ المغتسل and فيغسل يديه. He must wash his hands first. Why? Because remember we discussed this with wudu that you don't, especially in the Arabian context where it's so hot, and you use a clod of earth to make istinja. So maybe in your sleep, you don't know where you were scratching, you're scratching between your legs, whatever. So some najasat came on your hand. So obviously, before you're going to use your hand, wash the rest of your body, you must remove the najasat that is on your hand. You must remove the najasat on your You must remove the najasat from your hand, right? So, فَيَغْسِلُ يَدَيْهِ وَفَرْجَهُ. And then the first thing is you make istinja. Why? Because generally, most of the time, when you need a farz ghusl, it will be that you had husband-wife relationship, or maybe even a woman that's maybe in a haze, so maybe she has some blood there, whatever, or maybe a young man, whatever, had a nocturnal emission or something like that. So first remove the najasat. First remove the najasat. How can you imagine now you washing the top of your head, the water flowing down is going over the najasat. So it makes logic, it makes sense. At first remove the najasat, and once you remove the najasat, your body is now being removed from physical impurity. Now you must just remove the hukmi, the abstract impurity. You understand what I'm saying? So you wash your hands, then you make istinja, right? فَيَغْسِلُ يَدَيْهِ وَفَرْجَهُ. Now, normally in the olden times, right, where you had a bucket and you're bathing with a bucket, etc., then it's easy to do this. But nowadays we have showers, etc. So if you want to practice, you want to get that reward, inshallah, of making a sunnat ghusl, then the best thing in today's day and age is obviously if you can make with a bucket, alhamdulillah, nurun ala nur. Nowadays, with the shortage of water, we are living in, they say South Africa is a water stressed country. What is South Africa? A water stressed country. Every few years, you see P got water, P is a shortage of water. Then you see Cape Town has a shortage of water. Then you see there's a shortage of water in Joburg. And nowadays, even without the shortage of water, because of maladministration, most of the time the water's off. Here in Malabar, for the last 24 hours, the water was off. But alhamdulillah, we didn't know we had a bowl. Now in Joburg, there's big problems with water. So whether whether there is, abundance of water. Sorry, the point is, so also there's a lot of shortage of water. Sometimes the water is off. So if you know how to, bucket bath, it will help you. You save water, and also it will help you abundantly. So, so the first best thing is to bucket bath. But if you can't bucket bath, if you don't have the himmat, then the next best way, the closest way is if you have another tap in your shower. You know, you have the shower on top and the bottom, you have a tap. So now, when you start, you open the tap, you wash your hands, and then you take some water from the tap and you make istinja, front organ, hind organ, whatever, cleanse it thoroughly, right? So وَيُزِيلُ النَّجَاسَةَ إِنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَدَنِهِ, if there is on his body, right? So all this is the sunnat method. If a person just jump in a shower and he washes everything off, his ghusl will be done. Like we say, a person jump into the pool, all the organs of wudu was washed, all the limbs of wudu was washed, his wudu will be done. A person was walking in the rain, all the limbs of wudu was washed, his wudu will be done, but he won't get that reward. He won't get. So you must have the intention, and also when you make it in a masnoon manner, you'll get. And the closer you come to the masnoon manner, as I told you, you're going to do it in the bucket. It's close to the masnoon, more reward. And if you can't do the bucket, if you've got a tap in your shower, under your shower, then you can take the water as you need. It's closest. أقرب إلى السنة. Are you with me? So in كانت على بدني ثم يتوضأ وضوءه للصلاة. The next thing what he must do, he makes a normal wudu, right? Like how you make a wudu for salat. Your hands has been washed, you gargle your mouth, you gargle your nose, you wash your face 3 times, wash your arms, make masa. When your arms, you make khilal. Then, sorry, after you make khilal, then you make masa. Then you wash your feet, and after your feet, you make khilal between your toes, right? Then illa rijlaihi. So you make a normal wudu beside his feet. You leave your feet out. Why you leave your feet out here? They say this refers to a place where you're making wudu where the water does not drain away, where the water accumulates. So it's pointless washing your feet because you're still standing in the dirty water. But alhamdulillah, like how we got nowadays, we got drainage system where the water drains away immediately. You can wash your feet immediately. It will come in the kitab later on. You can wash your feet immediately. ثم يفيض الماء على رأسه وسائر جسده ثلاثا. Then he will pour the water on his head and on his entire body 3 times. Okay, time is up. To stop this. We'll continue tomorrow. So inshallah, what we must do, remember I told you, we are studying this here. It's not for fun. Maybe till now you were just jumping into the shower, maybe you're washing your mouth, you're washing your nose, and you were just, your ghusl was being done. Alhamdulillah, good, your ghusl is done. But now we're learning the proper masnoon method. We must make our intention that we must practice upon, inshallah. And I told you, if anybody got himmat and they got the courage, they will take a full bucket shower. Alhamdulillah, nurun ala nur, Allah Ta'ala accept. But if you can't do that, at least use your current shower and try to do the masnoon method. And we'll discuss about this tomorrow also about this, how you can try under your shower, how you try to do it masnoon, like how we do. We don't have the himmat to do the bucket shower, but at least we try to do in our normal shower, like we wash our hands, then we make istinja, and then we make the wudu, and then we pour the water. So inshallah, Allah Ta'ala through His mercy, even though we're using the shower, but we try to make it the sunnat way, we'll still get the reward of doing a sunnat ghusl, inshallah. Let's stop there. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi.